यस, अ वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। क्या कमेंट्स लिख रहे हो? हाँ, नहीं, आई डोंट नो, माय इंटरनेट वाज नॉट वर्किंग फाइन। ओके, बट ग्लैड टू सी यू वर ऑल वेटिंग सो ईगरली फॉर द लेक्चर टू स्टार्ट। अभी मैं सारे कमेंट्स पढ़ रही थी आपके। ओके, हाउ आर यू गाइस? कैसे चल रहा है? संडे को भी हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, क्या बात है! सीए क्या क्या करवा देता है ना हमसे। कैन यू हियर मी? ओके, सो ऑल सेट फॉर टुडेज सेशन? यस, ऑल आर रेडी? क्या बात है, किसी का रिप्लाई नहीं आ रहा अभी। ओह, आया, यस यस, अभी आया। हेलो एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग गाइस। नहीं नहीं, इट्स नॉट 7:15। आई डोंट नो, आई कुडंट कनेक्ट टू द इंटरनेट, क्या पता नहीं क्या प्रॉब्लम थी। ओके, हेलो एवरीवन, बहुत लोगों ने ज्वाइन किया है तो सबको वेरी वार्म वेलकम। एंड यस, गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। एग्जाम वाला संडे, यस, एग्जाम वाला संडे है आज। सो लेट्स कंटिन्यू फ्रॉम वेयर वी लेफ्ट यस्टरडे। ठीक है, कल आई थिंक हम सेल ऑफ गुड्स कर रहे थे, आज देखते हैं इफ वी आर एबल टू कंप्लीट द पोर्शन। नहीं होगा तो कल कंटिन्यू करेंगे। एनीवेज नेक्स्ट वीक तो मिलना ही है ना फॉर बीसीआर रिविजन। क्या बोलते हो? चलो, आई होप एवरीवन हैज ज्वाइंड। ग्रेट टू सी यू ऑल हियर ऑन अ संडे इवनिंग। क्या बात है! ओके ओके, चलो गाइस, लॉ का एग्जाम बस हाँ क्या, लॉ का एग्जाम संडे को है? अच्छा, हमारे लिए तो रोज सेम ही लगता है, आज भी पढ़ाई करनी है, कल भी पढ़ाई करनी है, तो एवरी डे इज द सेम, है ना? एवरी डे इज द सेम, बट दीज आर मेमोरीज, पता है। लाइक आई रिमेंबर आई यूज टू स्टडी इन द लाइब्रेरी एंड आई स्टिल रिमेंबर ओनली दोज डेज जो लाइब्रेरी में पढ़ते थे। यू नो, आई वॉज जस्ट टॉकिंग टू माई फ्रेंड द अदर डे दैट in my college I used to study for my IPCC exam, and in CA final then I had joined some other library. So in CA inter I remember we used to study since morning. फिर we used to get bored from sitting in the library, तो हम कैंटीन में चले जाते थे। देन वहाँ से if we were bored then we would go in any classroom because vacation time था, exams were in May, so the colleges classes सब हो जाते थे, college was practically empty only. And then we used to sit in the canteen, then there was a huge water tank, we used to sit there. फिर कभी कॉरिडोर में बैठ गए, तो दोज आर फॉन्ड मेमोरीज एंड यही सब याद आता है अभी। सो यू विल ऑल्सो मे बी रिमेंबर यू नो योर स्टडी पीरियड, दिस इज समथिंग विच यू शुड चेरिश। अरे हम पढ़ाई कर रहे थे एंड एवरीबडी वॉज इंजॉइंग द वेकेशन एंड वी वर ऑल बिजी गिविंग एग्जाम्स। चलो, let's get started. Yes. So where do you guys study? You study at home or you study in a library, or where do you study? Currently, where are you guys studying? Ah, I know, because of COVID you didn't get to enjoy your college life, ना? चलो कोई बात नहीं, ये भी याद रहेगा। बट कॉलेज में तो वी यूज टू गो एंड रिलैक्स, एंड घर पे लाइब्रेरी में वी यूज टू स्टडी अलॉट, एंड कॉलेज वी यूज टू जस्ट गो एंड चिट चैट रिलैक्स एंड देन अटेंड क्लासेस एंड स्टडी टिल लेट। अच्छा, लाइब्रेरी, होम। I have studied my entire CA in library only. At home I used to feel कि अरे अभी अभी सो जाओ खा लो and ऐसे ही लगता था टाइम पास. At home, okay. But when you're at home, service बहुत मिलती है ना. Like I remember my mom used to give snacks and then पानी ले लो, जूस पी लो, ये तो because I was studying, तो बहुत अच्छी सेवा की है मेरी. हाँ, maybe you guys can enjoy in degree college, of course, yes. क्या बात है, you got leave from college? That's nice. Even we had got. I remember. I think 2 months leave from college. Yeah, we also had got from college. I don't know whether they give it now, but we had also got for inter, not foundation, inter. Chalo guys, let's get started. Transfer of ownership and delivery of goods. जो काम के लिए आए हैं वो तो करे, हाँ? ठीक है. Yesterday we discussed the first unit of Sale of Goods Act and also the second unit, and we did delivery wala part. Naman, even I had got concession, yes. Chalo. Transfer of ownership, transfer of property, or it is also known as transfer of ownership. Meaning owner bears the loss, okay? Owner will bear the loss. Owner bears the risk. Owner bears the loss. Owner bears the risk. Why is it important for me to know who is the owner? Why is it important for me to know who is the owner at any given point of time? Owner करता क्या है? Yes. Owner क्या करता है? Owner bears the risk. Owner bears the risk. Owner is liable to pay the price. He is liable to pay the price. And owner can transfer a good title to third party. So owner bears the loss, owner bears the risk. He has to pay the price. He is the one who can transfer good ownership to the other. You can give what you have. But if you are not the owner, you will not be able to give a good ownership title to the other person. Next, let us discuss the rules of transferring ownership. Now, in case of specific or a certain goods, ownership is generally transferred at the time it is intended to be transferred. So buyer and seller will decide when is the ownership to be transferred. Sometimes they may say that let us transfer ownership at the time of contract. Sometimes they may say we'll transfer at the payment of price or on fulfillment of certain conditions. So it depends on the intention of the parties. So generally ownership is transferred. I'll write the word generally. Generally the ownership is transferred at the time of contract, or you should say as per the intention of parties. Okay, as per the intention of parties. So it will be transferred whenever the parties wish to transfer ownership. Now ownership is transferred at the time of making the contract only if certain conditions are satisfied. Like say for example that goods should be specific goods. Okay, specific goods means I have already identified I want to buy that bag only. I am very sure about the goods that I want to buy, then ownership can be transferred immediately. If they are specific, it means these goods are existing goods. It means they are already made. That is why ownership can be transferred immediately. What are the other requirements? Do you remember the other requirements? What are the other requirements? Yes, Jatin, very good. The goods should be in deliverable state. It means I have packed them, I have filled them into bottles, I have put them into boxes, I have put them into bags. Hi Yash, good evening. Good evening, Yash. And there is no condition attached. It is not conditional. Okay, it is not, I'll say no, I'll say conditional. It is not conditional. It means I have determined the price, I have weighed the goods, I have measured the cloth. So there are no conditions to be satisfied. In this case, ownership can be transferred immediately at the time of making the contract of sale. Contract should be unconditional. Yes, no conditions attached. Ownership can be transferred immediately. But see, goods are specific. However, they are not in deliverable state. There is some condition which is to be satisfied. Then can I transfer the ownership immediately? Can I transfer ownership immediately? No. In case the goods are not in deliverable state, in case the goods are conditional, in case the contract is conditional, ownership cannot be transferred immediately. It will be transferred when we put the goods in deliverable state, when we satisfy those conditions and we inform the buyer about it. Yes. Hi Neeraj, good evening. Today you didn't have maths class? Goods should confirm with okay description and quality as stated in the contract. Yes, that's an implied condition. So when the goods are to be put, okay, to be put in the deliverable state by the seller, then ownership will be transferred when the goods are put in deliverable state. And the buyer comes to know about this. Buyer comes to know about this. Okay, so ownership is transferred when the goods are put in the deliverable state and the buyer comes to know about it. See, मैंने goods deliverable state में डाल दिया, but if I have not informed the buyer, how will he come to know about it? Why will he bear the loss? So we need to inform the buyer. Now let's say, for example, that X sold goods to Y. There is a heap of rice. Okay, now this is to be put in bags. So he filled 100 bags in buyer's presence. Then both went home. At night, fire occurred, everything was destroyed. Who will bear the loss? Who will bear the loss? Here there was a heap of rice to fill 500 bags. But he filled 100 bags in the presence of the buyer. So who will bear the loss of these 100 bags that were already filled? Yes, correct. For 100 bags, buyer will bear the loss, and for the remaining bags, the seller will bear the loss. Buyer has become the owner because we are selling. Yes, we have put the bags in deliverable state and the buyer comes to know about the act of the seller. So in this case, buyer will bear the loss. Okay, buyer will bear the loss for 100 bags. For remaining, seller will bear the loss. Yes, correct. Janvi, correct answer. Pratham, correct answer. Correct. Okay. Now, goods are specific. They are also in deliverable state, but there are some conditions to be satisfied. So, yes, ownership will be transferred when the conditions are satisfied. Okay, when the conditions are satisfied. And very important, buyer comes to know about this. Buyer comes to know about this, or buyer knows about it. Okay, he knows about it. It is with the knowledge of buyer. Now, X had to weigh some rice, but before weighing, okay, before weighing, fire occurred, everything was destroyed. Who will bear the loss? Before weighing, goods are destroyed. Who will bear the loss? Now the goods are destroyed before we have weighed them, right? Before weighing. Then seller will bear the loss. Okay, so the loss will be borne by the seller because the loss incurred before weighing. So seller is still the owner. Yes, Janvi, very good. Correct answer. Navya, correct answer. I want everyone to participate. I want everyone to answer. Kinnari, Sai, Ankita, correct answer, guys. Pratham, very good. Ramu, correct answer. Great. Transfer of ownership in case of uncertain goods and future goods. So uncertain goods meaning we have already discussed. When is the ownership transferred in case of, when is ownership transferred? Step 1, when the goods are ascertained. Step 2, when they are appropriated. Write down the meaning of ascertainment. Ascertain means they are identified. And appropriation, the meaning is when they are set aside. Okay, so ownership is transferred when the goods are identified. See, they are uncertain. They are forming part of the bulk. Now, let's say that X wants to sell 500 bags out of 1200 bags. These 500 bags, they are all uncertain goods. But then the seller and the buyer, they identify the goods, they set it aside. It means the ownership is transferred. Okay, ownership is transferred. So as soon as Y identifies and keeps the bags aside for the buyer, it means ownership is transferred. Okay, so ownership is transferred when they are identified and appropriated. Both the steps have to be satisfied for ownership to be transferred. Next, we have reservation of right of disposal. This is important because many students find this concept difficult to understand. Reservation of right of disposal. To reserve means the seller keeps the ownership with himself. He keeps the ownership document with himself. He is doubtful that this buyer is not going to pay money. So seller को लगता है that buyer is not going to pay the money. तो ठीक है, I will not give you ownership. I will give you ownership only when the money is paid. So he keeps the documents with himself. He reserves the right of disposal. So when the seller, he would like to retain the ownership until some future date, until some conditions are satisfied or the price is paid. Okay, either price is paid or some conditions are satisfied, then he is reserving the right of disposal. There are two circumstances wherein we presume that the seller has reserved the right of disposal. The first condition is when the document of title are in his own name, it is in agent's name, he has kept it with himself or his agent. Now, X is the seller, Y is the buyer. Seller has sent goods by railways. So when you send the goods by railways, they give you a railway receipt. And when you send it by ship, they give you a bill of lading. Okay, they give you a bill of lading. Now, the buyer will show this bill of lading or railway receipt to the transporter, that is railways or ship, and they will obtain the delivery. But seller feels that the buyer is not going to pay the money. So he gives this bill of lading and railway receipt to his agent. And he has specifically informed the agent that you will give it to the buyer only when he pays the price. It means the seller is reserving the right of disposal. Otherwise, seller can also keep it with himself if he doesn't have an agent. He'll tell the buyer, I will give you these goods only when you pay the price or when you satisfy these conditions. So in this case, it means that he is reserving the right of disposal. By sending a bill of exchange for the price to the buyer along with the documents of title. Now, what has the seller done? The seller has sent the ownership documents. He has sent the ownership documents to the buyer, and along with that, he has also given him a bill of exchange for acceptance. Now, he has requested the buyer to accept the bill and return it to him. So, buyer accepted the bill. Okay, buyer accepted the bill and gave it to the seller. अभी buyer क्या सोचता है? He is very smart. He is saying, Arey, I've got the ownership document. Why do I need to honor the bill? Let it be, I'll dishonor it. Law says just because you have the ownership document doesn't mean that you have become the owner. In a bill of exchange, we are assuming that ownership will be transferred only when the bill is honored. So even though you have the ownership documents, you will not be considered as the owner. You will be considered as owner only when the bill is honored. So ownership will be given only when he honors the bill. So in case of bill of exchange, seller is still considered as the owner. It means that seller has reserved the right of disposal. It means he has reserved the right of disposal. So students, I hope you understood this concept. This is again important. The exceptions are important for exam. It can be asked as a theory question. So if you have a printout of this, please mark this as important for theory question. And basically question is asked on exception. Okay, they will want you to answer the exceptions. So normally what have we assumed? That if seller is the owner, only then he can transfer good ownership title to the buyer. Okay, so buyer will become the owner only when seller is the owner. So risk and ownership, they go together. Okay, so owner bears the loss, owner bears the risk. Okay, so normally owner will bear the risk. But there are certain exceptions. Under these exceptional cases, owner will not bear the risk. Okay, so these exceptions are where owner will not bear the risk. See, sometimes they may agree that during transit, ownership मेरी लेकिन risk तेरा. Okay, they may agree ownership मेरी लेकिन risk तेरा. So in that case, owner will not bear the loss. So they may agree that during transit, seller is the owner, but loss will be borne by the buyer. So that may be because of an agreement. Okay. Sometimes the trade custom says that. Sometimes the business is such, wherein trade customs means they are unwritten rules, they are followed in the business since a very long time. So in this case, sometimes a trade custom is such that ownership meri lekin risk tera. During transit, risk you will bear. So if that is the trade agreement, if that is how we do business in our line of business, then in that case, ownership meri risk tera. Sometimes the loss will be borne by the party who is in default. Okay, so default. So the person who has committed default will bear the loss. So even if I am the owner, but I am suffering loss because of your default. Now, what is the meaning of default? Now, what is the default? Here, you can give an example of delay. Delayed delivery. Okay, delayed delivery. So, if the delivery is delayed, then the person who is causing the delay will bear the loss. Yes, so goods are at the risk of the party who is defaulting. So, maybe the seller, it may be the buyer, जिसकी वजह से delay हुआ है, वो loss bear करेगा. Yes, favorite of ICAI for case-based question. Transfer of title. So only owner can transfer a good title. If seller is not the owner, buyer will also not become the owner. Yes. But as usual, there are exceptions and we will discuss them. Acha, what is the meaning of this Latin phrase? Who will tell me? What is the meaning of this Latin phrase? What does this Latin phrase mean? What is the meaning of the Latin phrase? Let's see. What is the meaning of the Latin phrase? No one can give what he has not got. So if I don't, yes, no one can transfer a better title than he himself has. You cannot give what you do not have. No one can give what he does not have. No one can give a better title than he himself has. Yes, Naman, correct. No one can give what he himself has not got. Correct. No one can transfer a better title than the owner. You cannot give what you do not have. So if you are not the owner, you will not be able to give good ownership. No one can pass a title better than he himself has. Yes, that is also correct. But there are certain exceptions. Even though seller is not the owner, buyer will become the owner. Okay, in this case, buyer will become the owner. So it is in case of mercantile agent. Now, X had asked his mercantile agent to sell a car for at least 4 lakh. He said 4 lakh se kam mein mat bechna. But mercantile agent sold it to Y for 3 lakhs. Now, if Y has bought it in good faith, he thought ये तो mercantile agent का काम है. Mercantile agent is dealing in those goods. The goods are in possession of the agent with the authority of the seller. If these conditions are satisfied, then even though mercantile agent does not have the authority, the buyer will still get a good title. That 1 lakh rupees can be recovered from my agent, but that's another story. Hi Ronak, good evening, welcome. Sale by owner by estoppel. He is not the owner, but he is considered just like the owner. Now, X asked his friend Y to sell a television set. One day they are sitting in a meeting with Z, the buyer. Y tells Z, I wish to sell my TV. Arey, it's not your TV. It's X's TV. But Y says, I want to sell my television set. X was sitting over there. He did not correct Y. Y sold the television set to Z. Now, at the time of delivery, X is refusing to deliver the television set to Z. He is saying that this sale is not valid because Y is not the owner. Owner तो मैं हूँ. मुझे नहीं बेचना अभी ये TV. Law says that even though Y is not the owner, he is considered just like the owner. He is owner by estoppel. You were sitting over there, na X. You didn't stop Y. Now Y is considered just like the owner. Z has bought the goods in good faith. He will get a good title. Hi Ranjit, welcome. Is this your first lecture? I have never seen you before. Welcome. Sale by one of the joint owners. X, Y, Z, they jointly own a piece of furniture, and that furniture is kept in the possession of Z with the consent of X and Y. Z alone, on his own, he decided to transfer the ownership to A, and A also bought it in good faith. He didn't know that there are joint owners. He thought that since it is in the possession of Z, he is the owner. He bought it in good faith. Even though Z alone cannot sell the furniture, A will get a good title. Yes, he will get a good title. Yeah, this is very important for case-based questions. Others are not that important. This is very important. Pay attention to the example. X, by fraud, obtained a necklace from Y. Okay, he by fraud obtained a necklace from Y. Now the contract is voidable at the option of Y. It means Y has two options, either to treat the contract as valid or cancel the contract. But before he could cancel the contract, X sold the necklace to Z, who as usual bought it in good faith without knowing about the previous fraud. In this case, if he has got the goods in good faith, the contract was voidable on the grounds of coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation. The sale happened before the main contract was cancelled. देखो main contract cancel नहीं हुआ, वो valid रह गया. If the main contract is valid, then the collateral is also valid. Z will become the owner. Don't worry, Y can recover damages from X. He can file a case of fraud. Yes, Umang, that if the sale is by mercantile agent and I know that the person is an agent and he has been dealing in those goods, yahi to uska kaam hai, you know he is doing it, he has the authority to sell. Only thing is you didn't know that he did not have the authority to sell below 4 lakhs. So if you have bought it in good faith, you will get a good title. You will get a good title. Next we have sale by seller in possession after sale. Examples are very important over here, students. Examples are very important. Now, X sold a car to Y. Okay, he sold a car to Y. But he didn't give delivery of the car. The car was still in the possession of X. While the car was in his possession, he sold the car to Z, who as usual bought it in good faith without knowing about the previous sale. Law says that if he buys it in good faith without knowing about the previous sale, then he will become the owner. Okay, he will become the owner. Now, sometimes the property has vested even before he becomes the owner. X sold a sofa set to Y. He gave the possession also, but he didn't give the ownership. He said that I will give you ownership only when you pay the full price. Now, since Y had the possession, he sold it to Z, who as usual got it in good faith. He thought that since Y has the possession of the sofa set, Y is the owner. Over here, even though Y is not the owner, Z will become the owner if he gets the goods in good faith. It's an exception. Sale by unpaid seller, we will see under what circumstances that sale is valid. Sale by official receiver or liquidator. Now X is declared insolvent. Okay, he is declared insolvent. His property is with the official receiver or liquidator if it is a company. Now what will they do? They will sell the assets and pay off the liability. Now these assets may include certain goods. Okay, the assets may include certain goods. These goods are sold to, let's say, Y. Now the official receiver or assignee, he is not the owner. He is not the owner. But जब तक वो sell नहीं करेगा, if he doesn't sell, how will Y get good ownership and how will he get money to pay off the liabilities of the insolvent? So even though he is not the owner, but sale is valid and Y will get good ownership title. He will become the owner. Sale by finder. Yes, finder can sell goods under certain circumstances. We had discussed this in quasi contract. Sale by pawnee or pledgee. Now, X has pledged his gold chain with Y. So, Y is the pledgee and X is the pledger. X is not repaying the loan. Okay. X has pledged his gold chain and he has obtained money. Pledge matlab girvi rakhna. But he is not repaying the loan. So law says that since he is not repaying the loan, why? Under that circumstance, you can sell the goods even though you are not the owner. Sale will be valid. Sell and it will be valid. Third party will become the owner because जब तक sell नहीं करोगे तब तक पैसा recover कैसे करोगे? So he will get a good ownership. Third party will get a good ownership title. Acha, what if my question is now, students, my question is, he sold the gold chain for 50,000 whereas the loan was only for 30,000. Can Y, the pledgee, keep 20,000 with himself or will he have to return that profit to the true owner? Tell me. Yes, tell me. Can he keep it with himself? No. He will have to return the profit because he is not the owner. वो profit नहीं रख सकता अपने पास. He will have to return it to the true owner. Very good, Janvi. Jatin. Very good. So that finishes the third chapter, and yesterday we had discussed delivery also. क्या बात है, फटाफट हो गया आज तो. Yes, Ayushi, Ankita, correct answer. Navya. No. He can't keep as damages. He will have to return. He'll have to return. Kinnari, correct answer. Next and last unit, unpaid seller. Yes, unpaid seller. Yes, Naman, we are not discussing hire purchase in the exceptions. Exceptions don't cover hire purchase. So yes, he can't transfer a good title even to a bona fide buyer. Okay, let's discuss unpaid seller, guys. Unpaid seller. Now, unpaid seller means, okay, unpaid seller. Yes, let us discuss unpaid seller. So what is the meaning of unpaid seller? How will you define an unpaid seller? How will you define unpaid seller? Yes, Jatin, correct section 45, unpaid seller. How will you define an unpaid seller? Unpaid seller means a person who has not recovered or not received the full price, not received the full price. It means he has either recovered part or he has recovered nothing. Okay, he has recovered, he has received or recovered only part when whole of the price has not been paid or even tendered, offered by the buyer. So when whole of the price he has not received, मतलब या तो कुछ भी नहीं मिला है या सिर्फ part मिला है. That's it. Then what are the rights of an unpaid seller? The whole of the price has not been offered, has not been paid or tendered. Bill of exchange or check or any other negotiable instrument has been dishonored. Yes. So I think you guys have mentioned, मुझे लगा शायद थोड़ा टेक्निकल हो जाएगा इसलिए मैंने नहीं लिखा. Okay, so the whole of the price, whole price has not been paid or tendered. Tender means the buyer has not even offered to pay. Bills of exchange, check or any other negotiable instrument has been dishonored. In that case, the seller is unpaid. Okay, seller is unpaid. या तो कुछ भी नहीं मिला या part मिला है. That's it. Now, what are the rights against goods and what are the rights against the buyer personally? Against the right, he can exercise the right of lien. Okay, against the goods, he can exercise the right of lien. What is the meaning of lien? What is the meaning of lien? What is the meaning of lien? Hi Krishna, good evening, welcome. Late हो गए आज. So what is the meaning of lien? Lien means to retain. Yes, section 56, it means to retain. Now, what are the conditions in the contract? Yes, what are the conditions? When can he exercise right of lien? Lien means to retain, to retain. So to retain, he should be in possession of the goods. Lien means to retain. He refuses to pay the buyer until the full price is paid. Okay, so lien can be exercised. When can we exercise lien? When he has the possession of the goods. Yes, when he has the possession. When the possession is not given to the buyer. Buyer has not paid the price of the goods. He has not paid price of the goods. There was no credit period and he has not paid the price. He has become insolvent. Yes, he has turned insolvent. So where the goods are sold without any credit terms and he has not paid the money, we are unpaid, we can retain the goods if they are in our possession. The seller must be unpaid. Yes, the seller is unpaid. He must have, okay, seller is unpaid. He has the possession of the goods. He has not given the possession to the buyer. Sometimes buyer has become insolvent. Luckily, goods are with me. Under what circumstances he loses the right of lien? Under what circumstances he will lose the right of lien? When will he lose the right of lien? Yes, he can retain for the price of goods and not for other charges. With credit term, but the credit period has expired. Yes, that will also. So sometimes there is no credit period, or sometimes there is credit period, but the credit period has expired. And I am unpaid, so I can retain the goods. Yes, I can retain the goods. When is lien lost? When is it lost? When is the lien lost? When he delivers goods to the carrier or any other bailee for the purpose of transmission to the buyer without reserving the right of disposal, or he gives them to the buyer. Okay, he delivers the goods to the buyer. Goods are not in his possession. When he waives. Okay, when he waives. So in this case, if the buyer has obtained the possession, or buyer has paid, yes, so then he will lose the right of lien. He will have to deliver the goods. So whether buyer has obtained or any other person has lawfully obtained the delivery of goods, when he says, I don't want to exercise the right of lien, or he has delivered goods to the carrier or any other bailee for the purpose of transmission to the buyer, he has parted with the goods. He has parted with the goods. Okay. Next, we have the right of stoppage. What are the conditions? When can he exercise the right of stoppage? What are the conditions to be satisfied? Right of stoppage, it begins when the goods, okay, so he is the seller. He has given goods to the carrier. The goods are in transit and he comes to know that the buyer has become insolvent. In that case, the seller can exercise the right of stoppage. So what are the conditions to be satisfied? In case of stoppage, what are the conditions to be satisfied? Seller is unpaid, correct? Very important, buyer has turned insolvent. Goods are in transit. And buyer does not have the delivery. He has not obtained delivery of the goods. Or you can say that goods are in the possession of the carrier. You can also say that goods are with carrier. Okay. Goods are delivered to the carrier. It can be a ship, it can be railways. The seller has parted with the possession of the goods. Okay, so the seller has parted with the possession. Normally, goods delivered to buyer are like goods delivered to carrier are like goods delivered to the buyer. But if the seller is unpaid, then he can exercise the right of lien because the goods have not reached the buyer. Buyer has turned insolvent. See, this right can be exercised only and only when the buyer becomes insolvent. Otherwise, not. Because in that case, goods delivered to the carrier are like delivered to the buyer. Only exception is when the buyer is insolvent and seller is unpaid. When will transit come to an end? When will transit come to an end? When will transit come to an end? Yes, tell me. Mumbai Indian fans, you will get the notes. The link is in the description box. Go and download the notes from there. And also join my doubt solving and other WhatsApp group. I'll share the notes over there after the lecture is over. My handwritten notes, I'll share it over there. So when the buyer takes delivery, buyer or his agent, okay, buyer or maybe his agent has taken delivery of the goods. So if buyer takes the delivery, if the carrier, he gives acknowledgement, Arey listen, I'm holding the goods for you. What kind of delivery is it? Yes. When the buyer or any person, he took delivery even before they reach the destination. Yes. Buyer takes delivery after he reaches the destination, or buyer, or if any other agent they obtained before they reach the destination. Yes, this is a kind of constructive delivery. It's a kind of constructive delivery. Yes, absolutely right. Yes, Parth, I will share yesterday's notes also. Today I will share that. Yes. There is one more, that if the carrier, okay, carrier wrongfully, okay, carrier wrongfully refuses to deliver goods to the buyer, उनका कुछ झगड़ा हो गया, he is like, I will not deliver the goods. In that case, transit comes to an end. Transit ends, it means the right of stoppage also comes to an end. Okay, right of stoppage will also come to an end. Next we have the right of resale. Okay, next we have the right of resale. Under what circumstances can the seller, unpaid seller, sell the goods? Tell me, under what circumstances? Yes, Krishna, correct. Goods delivered to carrier are like goods delivered to the buyer, but you can still exercise the right of lien if they have not reached the buyer and the seller is unpaid. For right of resale, what are the conditions to be satisfied? What are the conditions to be satisfied? What is the first condition? Okay, the goods are perishable. Yes, the goods are perishable. अभी कितना टाइम अपने पास रखेंगे ना? Buyer is not paying the money, so unpaid seller can sell the goods. Goods are perishable. Acha, we have given notice to the buyer that pay the money or I will sell the goods, and even then he has not paid the money. Notice is given to the buyer. Pay the money, otherwise I will sell the goods, and he has not yet paid the money. Acha, there was an agreement that we will wait for 1 week. If you don't pay the money, I will sell the goods, and he has not paid money. Here, notice is also not required. Notice is not required. So goods are perishable. Where he gives notice of his intention to resell and he has not yet paid the money. Sometimes it is already given in the agreement that if you don't pay, we will sell the goods, and even then he has not paid the money. So under these circumstances, he can resell. If he suffers loss, he can recover that from the buyer. And if he gains money, he can keep that gain. That's the best part. He can retain the profits. And if he suffers loss, then he can recover that loss from the buyer. Okay. He also has rights against the buyer personally. See, you can exercise the right against the goods only when you are in the possession of the goods. Once you give the possession to the buyer, you lose the right against the goods, but you can definitely take action against the buyer personally. So you can file a suit for price, damages for non-acceptance, repudiation of contract, suit for interest. Please mark this as important for theory question. It was, I think, asked in 2020 examination. I don't remember whether it was July or December. I don't think it was December. It was in July. All right, guys. Last, we have auction sale. Auction sale. What is the meaning of auction sale? What is the meaning of auction sale? If he doesn't give notice to the buyer, then he can't recover the price. No, if he doesn't give notice, then sale to the third party will be valid. But yes, sale to third party will be valid even if he doesn't give notice. But the buyer can take action. Yes, auction means where the intending buyers, they come together, assemble at one place, they offer the price at which they are willing to buy the goods. Yes. So where the intending buyers, they assemble at one place and they bid, they offer the price at which they are ready to buy the goods, then it is known as auction. The person who sells the goods on behalf of other is known as, what should I write over there? Person who is selling the goods, he is known as, bolo. He is known as, it is a sale by, it is an authorized sale. Yes, he is like my agent. Person is known as an auctioneer. He is known as an auctioneer. The relation between owner and auctioneer is that of principal and agent. Yes, you already told me he is an authorized agent. Yes, please check the spelling. Check the spelling. He is an auctioneer. Okay, check the spelling. Auctioneer. Advertisement is, yes, tell me. I have advertised Sunday auction hai, sab log aa jana. Is that advertisement an offer or is it just invitation to offer? Advertisement is invitation to offer. Then who gives the offer? Yes, Ankita, he is governed by the law of agency. Yes, he is an agent. It's an invitation. And who gives the offer? The bidder gives the offer. And how do you know the acceptance? How do you know acceptance? By striking of hammer. We come to know about the acceptance by striking of hammer. This is acceptance. Before hammer is struck, bidder can withdraw his bid. He can withdraw his offer. Yes, absolutely right. Everyone, correct answer. Superbly answered. Very good, guys. Very good. Fall of hammer. Now, sometimes auction may be by lots. So I have paintings, I prepare small lots, like one lot has 2 small paintings, 1 big painting. Each lot will be considered as a separate contract of sale. Each lot is considered as a separate contract of sale. When is the sale complete? You have already answered, fall off hammer, and before that I can withdraw my bid. Sometimes the seller may appoint puffers. The seller may reserve the right of bid. Okay, seller, he can appoint puffers. So it means the seller is reserving the right to bid. How many puffers can be appointed? Do you know? Puffers just try to increase the price. How many puffers can be appointed? Legally कितने appoint कर सकते हैं? Coffee board, yes, correct, Jatin. Coffee board versus the famous coffee and tea works. Yes, we can appoint only one puffer. Yes, we can appoint only one puffer. Puffer means someone who bids on our behalf and tries to increase the price. Nahin, Krishna, it is only one puffer. You can appoint one puffer. Anything more than one will be considered as voidable fraud. तो पफर जस्ट थोड़ा सेंटिमेंट क्रिएट करता है, बिडिंग स्टार्ट करवाता है. ओनली वन पफर. रिजर्व प्राइस, द मिनिमम प्राइस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज, बोलो. रिजर्व प्राइस, द मिनिमम प्राइस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज. It is also known as the upset price. It is also known as the upset price. Yes. Base price, minimum price. This is the price from which the bidding will start. Upset price, base price, minimum price. Yes, upset price. Knockout agreement, they are valid only if it is in good faith. See, we both have decided that only one of us will bid, and if we get the goods, we will share it. So that is known as a knockout agreement. Okay, that is known as a knockout agreement. If it is in good faith, it is valid. If it is to cheat, if it is fraudulent, then it will be voidable. Okay, knockout agreement is valid unless my intention is to cheat, to defraud the other person. Okay. So guys, with that we have come to an end of Sale of Goods Act. We covered all the concepts. Auction can be asked as a theory question. That is why I have covered auction sale also. There is a video on subsale, pledge, subpledge. I'll just share that with you. You can go and watch that video later. It is one concept in which many students have doubt. So I'll just share, give me some time. I'll just share. Effect of subsale. I'll just share that video with you. Later you can go and watch that video. Yes, pretended bidding रह गया क्या इसमें? हाँ, pretended bidding और आप अपने 4 friends को बिठा देते हो, बोलते हो कि bid करो. That pretended bidding is also fraudulent. Pretended bidding is discussed actually along with this puffers only. That अगर मैंने 4 लोगों को बिठा दिया, बोला चलो you guys bid, I am trying to create and increase the price, then again that is fraudulent. It is voidable at the option of the buyer. Guys, I have shared one video Please go and watch that video. It is on sale, pledge, and I've explained with examples. So go and watch that video later. And with this, we have come to an end of, yes, Naman, correct answer. We have come to an end of Sale of Goods Act. Now only majorly one act is remaining, that is Partnership Act. LLP is a very small act. It should not take time, that you can study on your own, because it's a very small act and it's a combination of Partnership and Companies Act. Mostly important for theory question only. 3 to 5 marks weightage LLP. So guys, quickly like this video if you have not liked. We have completed the Sale of Goods Act and only one major act remains, that is the Partnership Act. Okay, so last act, that is Partnership Act. Let's see if we can. Taxes wala is not that important, Naman. If you want, you can write, but questions are generally not asked on that. Taxes may, if the taxes increase, the price will increase. If the taxes reduce, the price will reduce. That is the only point covered. Okay, I'm not going into it because it's a very simple point actually. But usme kya discuss kare? Okay, yes guys, quickly like this video if you have not yet liked it. ठीक है, चलो quickly let us go through the Partnership Act. Yes, guys, are you ready for the Partnership Act? Partnership has same weightage as the Sale of Goods Act. It has the same weightage. आज दूसरा वाला नमन नहीं दिख रहा है, उसका रिवीजन हुआ नहीं है लगता है. He had joined in the beginning. चलो, let's discuss the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Yes, let's see if we can finish all the 3 units before our target time. Okay guys, so ready for the Partnership Act. Now 2 questions to 3 questions pakka आएंगे, case based question. You know, last time in December they asked such a simple question, essentials of a valid contract of partnership. Essential elements कोई पढ़ के भी नहीं जाता है. Yes, nobody goes through the essential elements and suddenly they are asked a question on essential elements of a valid contract and explain any 2. अच्छा नमन वही है. Okay. Because your surname was different, I thought you have not come today. मैं वही बोला नमन कैसे नहीं है आज, most active member of the group. चलो, let us discuss the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Earlier, the provisions of partnership were incorporated in the Contract Act. So it was covered under Chapter 11. Okay, Chapter 11 में था. It was earlier a part of the Contract Act. It was a part of Chapter 11 of the Contract Act. It is applicable to the whole of India. Can you tell me the day on which it came into force? Can you tell me? Acha. Okay, anyways. Can you tell me the date on which the Partnership Act came into force? Yes, correct. It came into force on 1st October 1932. 1st October 1932, and it applies to the whole of India. It also applies to Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, वो तो अभी सब acts apply करते हैं. ठीक है. Let us define partnership. So partnership is the relation between 2 or more persons. Minimum how many partners there can be in a partnership firm? मिनिमम कितने चाहिए और मैक्सिमम कितने हो सकते हैं बताओ. चलो, मिनिमम एंड मैक्सिमम क्या है? minimum 2 and maximum we can have 50. Okay, minimum 2, maximum you can have 50 partners. Who have agreed. What is this agreement known as? What is this agreement known as? Yes, correct answer. Ayushi, Ramu, Sarthak, Ankita. Ayushi, correct answer. Naman, correct answer. Yes, minimum 2, maximum 50. अच्छा, what is this partnership agreement known as? मैंने तो आंसर ही बोल दिया आपको. This agreement is known as the partnership deed. अच्छा, ये partnership deed oral होनी चाहिए, writing में होनी चाहिए, or anything will do? Should it be oral, writing, or any will do? Yes, Naman, it is given under section 464. 464 of the Companies Act, maximum limit. Okay. Partnership deed can be oral or it can be in writing. It can be partly oral, partly writing also. They are sharing the profits. In what ratio are they sharing the profits? Profits are shared in what ratio? Profits are shared in profit sharing ratio. And if profit sharing ratio is not specified, then equal. Written is preferred to avoid disputes. We prefer writing. Yes, writing is preferred to avoid further disputes. Profits will be shared in the profit sharing ratio or they will be shared equally in the absence of PSR. There must be business, profitable or non-profitable business. No business, no partnership. No business, no partnership. Should it be a profitable business or it can be a non-profitable business in partnership? Profitable or non-profitable? It should be a profitable. Non-profitable NGO, charitable work, that is not partnership because there is no business. So if it is not profit business, this is not partnership. Since there is no business. अरे बिजनेस होगा, प्रॉफिट कमाएंगे तभी तो शेयर करेंगे. प्रॉफिट मोटिव होना चाहिए. प्रॉफिट, यस, प्रॉफिट. अच्छा, business may be carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. What is this concept known as? What is that element known as? I may carry business acting for all. What is that concept known as? It is mutual agency. It is mutual agency. Partner is principal as well as agent. Okay, so partnership is principal as well as agent. He plays a double role. As a principal, he is bound by the act of others. And as an agent, he can bind others. Mutual agency, absolutely. This is the cardinal principle of agency. Cardinal means most important principle of partnership. Correct. Now, partnership may be classified according to duration as partnership at will or particular partnership. There are other also in the module. Partnership for a fixed purpose, general partnership. We have those also. So in case I'll write that also, you have fixed partnership. That is also a possibility. Then you have general partnership. But according to duration, it is classified as partnership at will or it may be particular partnership. In case of partnership at will, is the duration specified? Yes, mutual agency, that is the true test of partnership. अगर म्यूचुअल एजेंसी है तो वो पार्टनर्स हैं, अदरवाइज नहीं है. ओके, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट प्रिंसिपल. इफ देर इज म्यूचुअल एजेंसी दे आर पार्टनर्स, अदरवाइज नहीं है. अच्छा, इन पार्टनरशिप एट विल इज द ड्यूरेशन डिफाइंड. Is the duration defined? No. There is no fixed duration. Not fixed. You can dissolve anytime you want. You can dissolve anytime you want. You can just give a notice and you can get your partnership dissolved just by giving notice. So dissolution is by notice of the intention to dissolve the firm. You can give a 14 days notice and you can dissolve. Notice किसको देंगे? Notice will be given to, बोलो. To whom will you give the notice? By giving a notice in writing. ठीक है, वो भी ऐड कर देती हूँ. किसको नोटिस दोगे? Other partners of his intention to dissolve the firm. To all the other partners of his intention to dissolve the firm. All. Okay, he has to give to all the other partners. Dissolution का notice will be given by the firm that partner ने dissolution के लिए request की है, then the firm is dissolved, then the firm will give notice to the public. Public को firm देगी और firm नहीं देती है तो फिर partner देगी. So partnership can be dissolved by giving notice to the firm of his intention to dissolve. Then firm will give public notice. Particular partnership is formed for a particular venture. Okay, it is formed for a particular venture. A fixed partnership, they have mentioned that in the module now. Fixed partnership is formed for a fixed period of time, fixed duration. Duration khatam, partnership khatam. And if you continue the business even after the time is over, then it is considered as partnership at will. Yes. So partnership for a fixed period is one which is carried on even after the partnership. And if you carry on the business even after the term is over, the time is over, then it is partnership at will. So in this case, the duration is till the completion of venture. It will be dissolved after the venture is complete. Dissolution on completion of venture. Fixed partnership is for a fixed duration. If you want to continue after that, it is considered partnership at will. General partnership means we have not yet decided the time, or it is, yeah, it's the most easy chapter, yes. So general partnership means that business is constituted with respect to business in general. Like, I have decided to start a business for manufacturing of cake. So that's a general partnership. We have not decided on a particular venture. It's just that I'm going to manufacture cake, pastries, cupcakes, etc. Do you want me to discuss active partner, sleeping partner, nominal partner? It's quite simple, no, actually. Should I discuss this? So do you want me to discuss? Do you want me to discuss this part? ओके, चलो डिस्कस करते हैं. हाँ, general partnership is different from particular partnership because particular partnership is for a venture. General partnership में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. In case of particular partnership, your liability is limited only to that venture. General में तो it is unlimited. हाँ, चलो क्विकली एक सिर्फ मीनिंग ही गो थ्रू करते हैं. एक्टिव पार्टनर कौन होता है? एक्टिव पार्टनर मीन्स समवन हु टेक्स एक्टिव पार्ट इन द कंडक्ट ऑफ बिजनेस ऑफ द फर्म. He is a person who takes active part. हाँ, yes, estoppel clearly करेंगे. So sleeping partner is one who does not take active partner. वो सिर्फ capital contribute करता है लेकिन liable तो है. Nominal partner gives his name only, but he is liable for acts of the firm because the firm is getting business as a result of his name. Partner in profit only, he will share only the profits, he will not share the loss. सब पार्टनर क्या होता है ये जरा बता देती हूं आपको. A, B, C, they are partners. They have each decided to contribute 10 lakh rupees. लेकिन C के पास पैसे नहीं हैं. So he goes to Z. बोलता है that please lend me 10 lakh rupees, I want to invest in the business. लेकिन मेरे पास तो I don't have money to give you. I don't know whether I will be able to repay this money to you. Z बोलता है don't worry, you share 10% of your profit with me. So C agrees. बोलता है see it's a new business, I don't know whether I'll be able to repay or I'll be able to give interest. Z बोलता है don't worry, you share 10% of your profit with me. C agrees to share 10% of his profit with Z. Z is the sub partner of C. So they are sub partners. So Z is the sub partner of C. Now in this case, we are not concerned कि C अपने profit के साथ क्या करता है. You share it with any person that you want. We are not concerned. So sub partnership is valid. He is not liable for acts of the firm. The firm is not liable for his acts. The firm will not be dissolved in case of insolvency or death of Z. हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Partner by estoppel और partner by holding out. देखो पार्टनर बाय एस्टॉपल में क्या होता है ना, दैट वो खुद बोलता है मैं पार्टनर हूं, और होल्डिंग आउट में साइलेंस इज यूज्ड, बेसिकली पास्ट कंडक्ट. ओके, तो एस्टॉपल में एक्शन या साइलेंस दोनों यूज होता है. होल्डिंग आउट में पास्ट कंडक्ट यूज होता है. बट आपको अभी सीए फाउंडेशन में ये नहीं है. ओके, यू डोंट हैव ऑल दिस कॉन्सेप्ट कि व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन एस्टॉपल एंड होल्डिंग आउट. फॉर यू इट इज द सेम. ठीक है. सो यस, पार्टनर बाय एस्टॉपल. यस जतिन, करेक्ट सेक्शन नंबर, वेरी गुड. सो पार्टनर बाय एस्टॉपल में ही सेज मैं पार्टनर हूं, खुद ही बोलता है. Or he allows himself to be represented as a partner. Now pay attention students. X and Y, they are partners. They have recently appointed M as a manager. One day X and M, they go for a meeting with supplier S. X introduces M, बोलते ये है M हमारा पार्टनर. M खुश, बोलते मैं तो मैनेजर, उसने तो मेरे को पार्टनर ही बना दिया. He keeps silent. Later when he starts the discussion with S impress हो जाता है कि अरे वाह क्या पार्टनर है, क्या पर्सनैलिटी है. he agrees to give goods on credit, thinking that M is a partner. Okay, he extends the goods on credit, thinking that M is a partner. For this particular transaction, M is considered as partner by estoppel. So there may be either active representation wherein he is saying I am a partner, or it may be tacit representation, silence, he is allowing someone else to represent him as a partner. For this particular transaction, even though he is not an actual partner, he is considered as partner by estoppel. Will he be liable? Yes, only for this transaction. Doesn't mean कि वो मेरा permanently partner बन गया है. Only for this transaction, he will be considered just like a partner. Minor is important for exam. Section number क्या है minor का बताओ? Minor का section number क्या है? What is the section number of minor? Other, yes Jatin, other acting on faith of the representation has given credit to the firm. Correct. Yes Jatin, perfectly right. It is section 30. Correct. It is section 30. Section 30. Correct. Arfan, very good. Section 30. Minor cannot act as a partner because any agreement with minor is void ab initio. But there are certain exceptions. Under these exceptional cases, minor can become a partner. Can you tell me what are the exceptional cases? When can he become a partner? What are the conditions to be satisfied? For minor, we should have consent of all the partners. Yes, we should have consent of all the partners. And it must be for the benefit of the firm. Yes, partnership must be in existence. You cannot form a partnership to admit a minor. Minor cannot be admitted in a new firm. Okay, minor cannot be admitted in a new firm. You cannot appoint a minor in a new firm. You cannot form a partnership for a minor. Partnership should be in existence. What are the rights and liabilities before he attains majority? Naman, he can be admitted for the benefit of the firm and he will be liable. ये बोलना गलत है that he won't be liable. He will be liable, but his liability will be restricted to his share in the profit and property of the firm. He won't be personally liable. He won't be liable for loss. He will be only getting the profits of the business. हाँ, तो he is admitted for the benefit लिखा है ना. He will only be entitled for the profit. He will not share the loss. और वो जो लॉस भी शेयर करता है, तो लाइबिलिटी भी शेयर करता है, दैट इज ओनली टू द एक्सटेंट ऑफ हिज शेयर इन द प्रॉफिट एंड प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द फर्म. ही इज नॉट पर्सनली लायबल. He is entitled to share the profit, but only limited to his. He can't be liable to the third party. मतलब उसका शेयर इन प्रॉफिट एंड प्रॉपर्टी जितना है बस उतनी उसकी लाइबिलिटी. वो पर्सनली लायबल नहीं है. He is not personally liable. He is liable only to the extent. चलो, what are the rights? He is right to the share in profit. He has the right to share in profit at the agreed ratio. Okay, he has a right to share in profit in the agreed ratio. He can go through the books of accounts, but only the books of accounts and no other books like statutory books नहीं देख सकता. उसको क्या समझ में आएगा? He can go through the books, but only accounts. Can only go through the books of accounts. He can inspect the books, but only accounts, not any book other than the accounts book. He can also file a suit if he is not given his share in profit. But only when, बताओ वो कब केस फाइल कर सकता है? When can he file a case? उसको प्रॉफिट का शेयर नहीं मिलता, वो केस भी कर सकता है, लेकिन केस करने के लिए ही ओनली व्हेन he decides to sever his connections with the firm. Okay, only when he decides to sever his connections with the firm. All right. Next, minor elects to be a partner. Okay, minor has elected to be a partner. What about his rights and liabilities? Yes, Ankita, he can file a case when he is not given, but he can only sever, only when he decides to sever his connections with the firm. Minor's rights and liabilities, when he elects to be a partner, it will remain same. Okay, it will remain same as it was during minority. Liability, now he will be personally liable for all the transactions since the date of his admission. जो भी outstanding है, for that he will be personally liable. Share in profit and property will also remain the same. But if he elects not to be a partner, so rights and liabilities will remain the same up to the date of public notice. When should he give this public notice? When should he give public notice of his decision whether he wants to or he doesn't want to continue as a partner? कब देगा public notice? Yes, his liability means he will be personally liable for all the debts which are outstanding since the day of his admission. जो भी outstanding है, that for that he will remain liable. What about his liability? अच्छा, ये तो he has to give within 6 months ना public notice. Within 6 months of attaining majority or within 6 months of him knowing that he was admitted for the benefits of the partnership, whichever is later. Liability will remain the same up to the date of public notice. This will also remain the same. If he fails to give public notice, we will assume that he has become a partner. So within 6 months of attaining majority or him gaining knowledge that he had been admitted for the benefits of the firm, whichever is later, उसके 6 months में he has to decide whether he wants to continue as a partner. Notice नहीं देता, he will automatically be deemed to be a partner of the firm. After attaining majority, he will be personally liable for all the debts of the firm outstanding since or contracted since the time he became since he was admitted for the benefits of the firm. Yes. Chalo. So with this we have come to an end of unit 1. क्या बात है, जल्दी हो गया. Yes. हाँ अंकिता, minor cannot be declared insolvent on declaration of the firm's insolvency. Minor cannot be declared insolvent on declaration of the firm's insolvency. Correct. Okay. Next, let us discuss the rights of a partner. Let us discuss the rights and duties of a partner. काफी easy था ना वो first chapter. It was quite easy. So every partner has the right to take active part in the conduct of business of the firm. आप किसी को ये नहीं बोल सकते that I don't like you, I don't like your face, so you don't participate in the business. Every partner, whether he is active or sleeping तो ठीक है, he has the right, but he doesn't exercise that right, वो अलग बात है. So every partner has the right to take active part in the conduct of business of the firm. आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि मुझे तू पसंद नहीं है तो कल से ऑफिस मत आया कर. Some partner can be given limited rights, certain partners can be given exclusive rights. Yes, पूरा चैप्टर काफी इजी है. In fundamental matters, yes, answer करो. In fundamental matters, I need the consent of, बोलो. Right, every partner has the right to be consulted. So in case of fundamental matters, I need the consent of, बोलो क्या लिखेंगे? I need the consent of all the partners. Okay, in case of fundamental matters, I need the consent of all the partners. And in case of ordinary matters, जो routine matters हैं, routine, majority के consent से भी काम हो जाएगा. सिर्फ majority के consent से काम हो जाएगा. Can a person claim remuneration as a matter of right? भाई मेरे को तो हक है, मैं पार्टनर हूं, मेरे को तो remuneration मिलना ही चाहिए. No, it is not. It cannot be claimed as a matter of right. मैं हक से नहीं मांग सकती. I cannot claim it as a matter of right. कब मिलेगा मेरे को remuneration? कब मिलेगा remuneration? I will get remuneration only when it is mentioned in the deed. ठीक है? I cannot claim it as a matter of right. I will get it only when it is mentioned in the deed. Then every partner has the right to access the books. He has the right to share the profits in profit sharing ratio या फिर equally. Interest on capital भी हक से नहीं मिलता है. Only when it is mentioned in the deed. Only when it is mentioned in the deed. Interest on advances, partner has given loan to the firm. Interest मिल सकता है at the rate which is mentioned in the deed या फिर at the rate of 6% per annum. पार्टनर ने कुछ खर्चा किया है for the firm. Yes, he has a right to be indemnified. Indemnified means compensated. Hi Takshil, welcome. Thank you so much. Yes, हाँ जतिन. I think everybody is feeling relaxed. अभी काफी पोर्शन हो गया ना अपना रिवाइज करके. एंड संडे भी है. Yes, interest on profit is payable only when we have, interest on capital is payable only when you have profit, but interest on advances is payable only if it is payable even if the firm suffers loss. So it is payable till the firm is dissolved. Yes. Okay. Right to be compensated if he has incurred any expenses. Right to stop admission of a new partner. Now for admission we require consent of all. मेरा consent लिया ही नहीं, I can stop the admission. Thank you so much, Parth. It was always available on the website actually. आप download कर लेते. So right to stop admission of a new partner if you obtain consent, if consent of all is not obtained. Right to retire, dissolve the firm. अगर partnership at will है, सिर्फ notice से हो जाएगा. और अगर पर्टिकुलर पार्टनरशिप है तो जब वेंचर खत्म हो जाएगा, अच्छा, यू कैन डिसॉल्व द पर्टिकुलर पार्टनरशिप इवन बिफोर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ वेंचर विथ कंसेंट ऑफ ऑल. कंसेंट ऑफ ऑल, सबके कंसेंट से पहले ही आप कर सकते हो. नॉट टू बी एक्सपेल्ड, एवरी पार्टनर हैज द राइट नॉट टू बी एक्सपेल्ड. एक्सपल्शन के लिए क्या वैलिड है, देखो नीचे लिखा है मैंने, व्हाट इज वैलिड फॉर एक्सपल्शन. वैलिड एक्सपल्शन के लिए कहाँ गया, एडमिशन, हाँ, एक्सपल्शन. फॉर वैलिड एक्सपल्शन व्हाट आर द कंडीशंस टू बी सेटिस्फाइड, बताओ. व्हाट आर द कंडीशंस टू बी सेटिस्फाइड फॉर वैलिड एक्सपल्शन. For valid expulsion, yes, there must be power in the agreement. It must be for the benefit of the firm. और हम जिसे expel कर रहे हैं, he must be given a notice. Yes, for it must be for the benefit, it must be for the interest of the firm. So it should be in good faith. Benefit बोलो या फिर good faith बोलो. Good faith मतलब क्या? Yes, expulsion will be with majority. For valid expulsion, I need the consent of majority. Opportunity of being, हाँ ठीक है, नीचे लिख देते हैं, थोड़ा उसको रीडिफाइन कर देती हूँ. Good faith मतलब क्या? Good faith means that the person who is expelled we should be served with a notice. It must be for the benefit of the firm. And he must be given an opportunity of being heard. Yes, correct. So expulsion के लिए power होना चाहिए in the deed. It must be in good faith for the benefit of the firm. Good faith मतलब जिसको expel कर रहे हो, you should give him a notice. He must be given an opportunity of being heard. Now X, Y, Z, they are partners. The wives of X and Y, they fought in the ladies club, and the wife of X was injured. Now X along with Z have decided to expel Y. Is the expulsion valid? Bolo, is expulsion valid? नो अंकिता, माइनर को हम बहुत ही लिमिटेड राइट्स देंगे, बट ऑल पार्टनर्स लिखा है तो माइनर का भी कंसेंट आएगा. I'm fine, Takshil. How are you? अच्छा, आप कहाँ से हो? फ्रॉम मुंबई. Okay. Is public notice required in case? So this is not valid expulsion. Okay, not valid. It's not a valid expulsion. Is public notice required for expulsion? Is public notice required? No, public notice is not required. So public notice is required. Yes. Expulsion में चाहिए, डेथ इंसॉल्वेंसी में नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. एक्सपल्शन में चाहिए नोटिस. यस. So over here, he has a right not to be expelled. Right of outgoing partner, section 36 is important for exam. Important. Outgoing partner, he can even start business of the firm. He can start a competing business, but he cannot use the firm's name. He cannot represent himself to be the partner of the firm. He cannot solicit our customers. Okay. So he cannot advertise. Sorry, he cannot represent himself to be the partner of the firm. He cannot represent as partner. He cannot use the firm's name. He cannot solicit our customers. Section 37, if the settlement is not made and we continue to use his amount in the business, section 37 बोलता है that you give him either the share of profit on whatever amount that you are using, or you give him interest at the rate of 6% per annum. So if you are using his money without final settlement, ये भी आता है हाँ एग्जाम में. So the surviving partners, if they continue without any final settlement, then they will have to either give him his share of profit or give him interest at the rate of 6% per annum on whatever amount that they are using. Okay. Duties are very simple. Duty to act in good faith, to carry on business in the common advantage, duty to render true and true accounts, duty to give full information, duty to account for personal profits. You cannot earn personal profit, and if you do, then you will have to account for it. Duty to account for the profits of a competing business, duty to use the property for the firm's business only. Yes, can you tell me, ये जो partnership का business है, this relation is governed by, बोलो, relation of partners is governed by, क्या लिखेंगे यहाँ पे, what will be right? Yes, section 16, absolutely right. Jatin, it is important for exam. Yes, it is important. This account for personal, this is section 16, it is important. Now, relation of mutual agency. Yes, it is governed by mutual agency, but this applies to only those transactions which are with the outsiders. Yes, it is only for transactions with outsiders. It is not applicable for transactions within the partners inter se. आपस के ट्रांजैक्शन में म्यूचुअल एजेंसी का कॉन्सेप्ट अप्लाई नहीं करता. It means that if A, B, X, Y, Z, they are partners and their mutual agency will applicable only to third parties. It will not apply to the promises made between the partners themselves. It will not apply for transactions which are between the partners themselves. Last discussion of today. We'll continue tomorrow also. LLP बाकी है ना अपना, एंड थोड़ा सा पार्टनरशिप भी बाकी है. नोटिस टू एक्टिंग पार्टनर. एक्टिंग पार्टनर कौन होता है? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ एक्टिंग पार्टनर? टेल मी गाइस, टेल मी व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ एक्टिंग पार्टनर. Acting partner means active partner. If I inform something to the active partner, it is as if it is given to the firm. Notice to active partner is like notice to the firm. The only exception would lie in case of, yes, the only exception would lie in case of fraud. If X, Y, Z, they are partners, if we have informed something to Z, it is as if we have informed to X and Y. Except when Z is trying to commit some kind of fraud with a third party on the firm. In that case, notice to active partner will not be notice to the firm. The person, yes, only Z will be liable. Z will be liable. Guys, we will stop for today. I don't think we'll be able to complete it even if I extend. कल मिलते हैं and we will stop. When do you want BCR? BCR कब करना है आपको revise? Because I'm only going to revise the formats. So it will be just a 1 hour session. I'll just give you an idea कि BCR के formats कैसे बनाने हैं. Okay, and I'll give you a PDF also in which you will have all the format of all the chapters. So when do you want the BCR session? Should we take a break and then go for BCR कि immediately Tuesday कोई BCR कर दे? When do you want the BCR session? Let's keep a gap थोड़ा सा. हाँ, after 2-3 days. So I'll plan on Friday. So that exams are also over, na? Many students have their CBSE exam getting over on 7th and all. So let's do it on Thursday 9th को करते हैं. 9th, ठीक है? 9th, not Friday. Friday I have lectures till late. So let's do it on Thursday. चलेगा? Thursday को करते हैं. Let's do the BCR session on Thursday. And then you can go for self-study. Then we'll do a doubt solving. Thursday को करेंगे. Then we'll do doubt solving like around 20th, 18, 20 को doubt solving करेंगे. ठीक है? All right? चलो. So I'll end the session tomorrow again 7 o'clock. Huh? Tomorrow 7. So I'll see you at 7 tomorrow. You want to do it early? 6 o'clock या ऐसे कुछ? 6 to 8 करना है क्या कल? नहीं 7 ठीक है. क्या बोलते हो? क्या टाइम रखें? 7 डन. अच्छा दिस टाइम इज गुड. चलो टुमारो 7 o'clock डन. चलो टुमारो 7. ठीक है? चलो गाइस बाय बाय. गुड नाइट. 7 नहीं 7 एवरीबडी इज ओके फॉर 7. चलो 7 o'clock. 7 इज लॉ रिविजन टाइम है ना? चलो टुमारो आई विल मीट यू एट 7 and then on Thursday we'll do the BCR session. Okay guys? चलो बाय बाय. गुड नाइट everyone. Good night. Bye guys, good night. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Yes? Today was a very easy one, na? आज काफी easy था. Bye guys, bye. Good night everyone. Bye.